Alright, let's see. 32 minutes. That's plenty of time. Um, I saw this video. I was just doom scrolling and I saw this video, and it was there was this kid and he was driving. He had to have been like 4 or 5 years old. I don't know, but he was driving this little vehicle, and behind this little vehicle there were like 4 or 5. No, there were like 5 or 6, I think, different small things being pulled, right? And in one you'd have a chicken, in another you'd have a rabbit, and then was it just chickens or rabbit? I think there was something else in there, but it's like I think one of the reasons that God made cats and dogs and animals is to keep a kid's time occupied, you know? Um, because, damn, children are fucking annoying as hell. They are. They're like, pay attention to me, pay attention to me, pay attention to me, pay attention to me. You know? And it's like, yeah, you should pay attention to them every now and then, but it's like not as much as you want. Like I'm Gen X, and our parents would just like kick us out of the fucking house if we get out of here. Fucking get out of here. And maybe you shouldn't do that nowadays, because there's like child kidnappers and a lot of creepy shit going on nowadays. And that there's still stuff like that too, but I don't know. It's just more recognized nowadays, I guess, or more prevalent. I don't know. But so so it's like parents get criticized nowadays for throwing their kids onto social media, but I think there's I think life is just more complex, and sometimes the the two-dimensional thinkers, this versus that, this versus that, this versus that. The two-dimensional Marxist thinkers give it credit. And to be fair, probably the modern Marxist thinkers have moved beyond and developed, but it's just like this versus that. It's just sometimes it's just not so real, because the intent, it's a good intent. It's just like the parents themselves need to be whole in order to be good parents. And yet the parents can't be whole if, they have to pay attention to a bunch of fucking annoying brats all day, That's why they say if you get animals, it's good to have multiple animals, because then they can play with each other. But I mean, So what? Yeah, I mean, what I'm trying to say is that like modern parents aren't bad. The system is, because the intent is it's still a good intent. It's just like, hey, go get your own life, you know, fucking shit. Go get your own fucking life. Um, it's like I was talking about animals one time. And oh my god, I just had this epiphany. But it's like, what if we treated animals like we treated our kids? And it's just like, what if we just let them out and I don't know, maybe one day they might find a new owner or a new family that they can make their own. And that's a weird. Anyways, um, it's not necessarily the right way, but I like experimentation and science. I do. um, but I mean, it's not a bad thing to for a parent to again I'm arguing against false guilt right now. I'm arguing against false guilt because it's not a bad thing to want your kids to have their own life, but how do you do that, what's the best for them, and definitely, I'm not saying screen time's best for them. From what I hear, from what the studies show, it's the worst thing for them. Physically, mentally, maybe also spiritually too. Yeah, no, definitely spiritually on some of them. Some creepy, weird shit out there. Anyways, that are 4 children too. I'm just like, what is going on? I think modern parents are just victims of bad shepherds.